Konami Studios.
A Man Among Ye, Issue 3. Now, I have said about the first two issues of this book, they're my favorite new series of 2020. I stand by that when we read this one. I love everything about this book. I love its themes. I love the setting. I love the characters. I love the art. I love the writing. This is such a good book. I want more people to read it. If you know anything about your pirate history, it's a must read. If you want to know more about pirate history, I feel like it's a must read. We ended off issue 2 and we saw that Anne Bonny and Mary Read were about to steal a new ship, and they just needed to get off the island because they were set up to be killed. And as they're getting on this new ship, they realize there's already some women aboard who are trying to steal it. So we get a little fight scene between some of the women, and we learn who they are. They are two women. The first one we meet is Jane Castor, and she is like a wealthy heiress. Her father owns like a Castor distribution. They distribute a bunch of stuff across Nassau and all the islands ever. They're like a really wealthy people, but she was betrothed to a man and she wanted to escape with her servant Iris. So they went aboard this ship to get away. And as they do that, you see Anne and Iris are fighting, and they're just like, what's going, well, I stole the ship. Well, I stole the ship first. It's just some really fun stuff. And as they're having the fight, these two men show up like, hey, get off my boat. And then they start shooting, but Iris takes them down. And luckily all four women manage to escape away unharmed. And we get into the action here. And it's really fun stuff. It's just your classic swashbuckling adventure. We have Anne taking charge here. She's like, I'll steer the ship. We're going to Nassau, bitches. Let's have fun. Let's get crazy. We're not going to take this too seriously because it's a pirate book. Let's have fun with it. Of course, it's serious nature. People are dying all the time, which we'll get to in a bit here. But it's just still a fun book. Enjoy yourself. Have fun with these moments, with these characters. It's just really enjoyable. So we cut back to stuff happening. One of our pirate men who works with Captain Rackham made a deal with Wood Rogers that he will bring in the Dread Pirate, the Calico Jack. Was it Calico? Calico Jack Rackham. So they bring him to the ship. They're like, hey, you were late bringing them here. Why should I give you any payment? He's like, well, I still brought him here, dude. There you go, Wood. They're here. What you gonna do now? And I love that Wood's like, yeah, that's great. You guys, you've sailed your last day. You'll have enough to retire now because you are immediately gonna be shot and killed because I don't negotiate with pirates, motherfucker. And he just mows down most of Jack's crew, keeps Jack alive. I love that. I love it. And our guy here kind of just barely escapes. He's probably going to come back, probably to tell Anne, people are coming to kill you. I'm sorry, I tried to kill you. Shit's about to go down, and it's just so fucking fun. I love it so much. And then Wood, he just kills all these people. We move past it. We're back on the seas with Anne Bonny and her team. And it's just a couple of just simple stories. They're in troubled waters. Why do people escape? Why this idea of being betrothed? Because, Mary Read, she's still a young woman. She doesn't really understand what's so bad about being betrothed, What's wrong with that? And then the idea also comes into play oh, we're going to Nassau because I'm saving Jack because I'm his first mate. I'm going to go save him. And of course, Jane is like, nah, we're going to go to New England because that's where I can get money and become my wealthy heiress lady. And even Iris is like, bitch, we're not going to New England. Do you think a black woman's going to make it in New England? Hell no. Nassau's better than anywhere. So as they're going there, they hit a big wave. Everything's wiped down, but we get a really great moment before that. I just remembered where it's just Anne shoots her gun. She has control of the ship. She's like, as long as I'm in control of this, we're going where I say. I'm the pirate queen here. Y'all can calm down. I love it. It's just great artwork, man. Craig Kermack, I think is his name. Great stuff from him. I absolutely love it. I love the way it looks. I love the way the book flows. It's so incredibly well done. Everything about it works so perfectly. Just an incredibly fun time, man. And then, of course, they do get attacked by a big wave. The boat starts to topple over. Mary Read is thrown overboard. And then Anne's like, well, I'm going to save her. You guys just reel me back in and I'll bring her back. We get a little insight into the mind of Mary Read where she's remembering what happened to her father, how she was on board the ship when he died, and how she remembered what happened to him in that sinking feeling, and how he'd always bring up, these characters from an old lore. And as she is saved by Anne, which is a really beautiful shot, you just see her, she's pretty much committed to this is where she's going to die. But when Anne pulls her out, it's really cool. And she immediately just goes I know how to save Jack. I know how to save Jack. Do you know the story of the Trojan horse? And I'm like, yep, that's going to be cool. I cannot wait to see what that means exactly. I think that's going to be really fun. Part of me thinks it's going to be like, we're going to set a trap up for Wood Rogers, and in that trap's going to be Anne Bonny, but as soon as that happens, the pirates that we have here are going to attack and free Jack, and I think that's pretty cool. Back with Wood Rogers and Jack, though, we go into this room where Jack is being escorted, and there sits Charles Vane, and he's like, Charles, what the hell are you doing? Why are you here with Wood Rogers? Like, what is it? And he's like, well, he's a pirate hunter, and he's a pretty good one if he caught both of us, Jack. And then the idea also comes into play here. Wood Rogers is not after these two. They really just want to find Anne Bonny, because apparently she's going to be the biggest threat ever. And it's so cool. I love it. This was probably my least favorite issue of the 3 so far, just because it felt the most meandering and didn't really go anywhere in the story. We now realize what's going to happen with these characters. We got Jane Castor here and Iris, who I think are going to play a part going on. Wood, Jack, and Charles are maybe going to be working together to bring in Anne Bonny, so that could be something that's worth seeing. I don't know yet, but it could be something really fun. And it's just, I say it's my least favorite, but when I say that, I mean it is still a really good issue, incredibly fun. I still really enjoy this story. I absolutely adore this era and these characters, and they're so unique and so interesting. It's such a good time. This is such a fun read. I think everyone should read it. Stephanie Phillips has been on my list of like the next best writer for such a long time, and I'm so happy she's going to be working on a Harley Quinn book. So, A Man Among Ye, issue 3. It's a fun read, takes the characters in some cool directions, great artwork as always, building up for a really cool story that I cannot wait to see. So, I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.